The next thing that needs to be done in order for the black community and African American men to win the fight against HIV is to use protection. Still, it is important to remember that using protection is not going to be effective if it is not used properly. The problem is that many people do not know how to use condoms properly.
When you put a condom on, you're supposed to put it on when the penis is almost semi-erect or erect, so it won't slip off or it won't, be too loose. And you're supposed to leave a little tip at the end. It's supposed to have no air in it, so it leaves room for the semen to pull in. If you put the condom on with air in it, it'll cause it to burst when you're having sex, through sexual, when you're having sex. You're also supposed to use water-based lubricant, not oil-based, not Vaseline, not baby oil, nothing that has oil in it. You're supposed to use a water-based lubricant, KY jelly, to help lubricate. Because sometimes if you are penetrating someone who is not very much lubricated, that may cause the condom to break too. And also watching out for the expiration date on the condom, where you keep the condom. If you're keeping it somewhere very warm or keep it in your wallet, you're going to break down the elasticity of the condom and it could break during sex.
Education about the reality of HIV and AIDS is crucial. There are many things that African American men need to become aware of if they're going to be able to make intelligent decisions about their sexual behavior.
Get out and learn how to put that condom on right, learn how to use a lubricant, talk with the people he's having sex with, to educate himself, to explain to them why he's using this, the reason why he's doing this, and really communication and educating himself and admitting to himself that he's susceptible to this virus just like anybody else.
If you don't know about HIV and AIDS, and for me also, if you don't know about STDs or intravenous drug use, you don't know how this stuff is transmitted and all that, there are classes all over the place that can help you. The health department has classes. The Red Cross, that's where I volunteer, we do classes. The Urban League does classes. There are all kinds of community organizations that hold classes and seminars so that you can learn about HIV and AIDS and you can learn what you can do to protect yourself, I mean, sometimes I know it's like, well, man, I ain't on that dumb stuff, blah, blah, blah. Well, I ain't on that dumb stuff, blah, 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 is what will get you killed. You have to look out for number one. That's what it comes down to.
When everything is said and done, it must be remembered that even though HIV is a deadly disease, it is still a preventable one. It is necessary for African American men to begin talking about the dangers of HIV and AIDS, because this fight is not one that African American men can afford to lose.
If we're not careful, the same thing that's happening in Africa is going to happen in our community. I mean, we're almost already there and we don't even know it. So just burying your head in the sand isn't going to work. And you need to admit that you have a problem and then do something about it. Don't just sit there and say, well, yeah, we have a problem. Do something about it. Learn something. Share it with others, And just the whole stigma of what HIV is and what it can do, it doesn't have to be a problem if you don't let it. If you learn how to protect yourself, it doesn't have to be a concern for you. If you know the steps and ways that you can keep yourself from getting the virus, it don't have to be a dark cloud hanging over your head wondering every time you have sex, is this going to be it?
I wish people would, like I said before, be as careful about their sex lives as they are when they get behind the wheel of a car or when they do anything else that they feel might injure their health, Even people who are intravenous drug users, they're a whole less likely to share needles with somebody than they were 20 years ago. But people are no less likely to have unprotected sex than they were 20 years ago. And that's really goofy to me. This is about self-preservation.